Python and ChatGPT, I've been told you have been given a talk about GPT itself and how it works. This is not the talk I'm going to do today. We are going to do this. We are in danger. So the main idea of the talk is that we discuss a little bit usages and some experiences with ChatGPT. So who am I? I'm 31 years old, from No Worries here, Barcelona. I'm a physicist, electronics engineering, PhD, etc., etc. Currently, I work at Easy Record, which is a startup company here in Barcelona. I'm assistant professor at Universitat de Barcelona and Universitat Oberta de Catalunya, which is in Spanish profesor asociado, no agregado. There's a lot of mistranslation there. And these are my Twitter handles. So also I noticed that I'm here a lot, so I'm a little bit boring. Soy un poco el pesado que viene ya. So I encourage you to see other of my talks. One of them is published at YouTube. And in the last one, on November, I think it was, we made some QR codes, and so you can enter here. You can follow this QR code, and you can register a talk in the meetup because we need them. I'm also a member of the association, so please enter here. This works actually. We discussed this in the last presentation. So how about you? Okay, nice, perfect. So that's enough about me. I want to know a little bit about the audience. So I made the clusters, I think, angering everyone. So who is related with applied science, physics, chemistry, etc.? Yeah, you can be on 2 or 3 of them. It's okay. So who is related with engineering, electronical, software development, for example? It's also here. Because there is computer science. I made these 2 angry people. So okay, who is related with mathematics, computer science, data science? Oh, a lot of them. Okay, maybe half the population here. And who is related with social sciences, psychology, sociology, maybe linguistics, NPL? Oi, hi. So, in fact, GPT is more related about linguistics than any of the other subjects, but it's okay. So, and about GPT and your relation and my relationship with ChatGPT, how many of you do have spent time with GPT? Not other related stuff. I want to focus on GPT, ChatGPT, not the other GPTs. We will discuss it also, but not the other GPT's products. So, who has spent 0 hours with GPT? It doesn't matter. It's okay. Okay, nice. Who has spent at least 5 hours, more or less? Okay, maybe half of the people. 10 hours. This is a logarithmic scale. Yeah? 50 hours? Okay. And 100? Nice. We are bros. So yes, I've been talking a lot with this shit. A lot. And a lot is a lot. So that is why I'm giving this talk. And it's not machine learning related. We're not talking about the model. We are talking about the human experience of using ChatGPT as a developer, as a human being. So this is a little bit the roadmap for today. What is GTP? But you covered this already, so you already know more than me. What is not ChatGPT? And this is some curious things going out there. Later, 10 tips, or I don't know if I made 10 or 9 or something like that. Use cases and tips for daily Python usage. Programming usage in general, but for us that we do Python. Also a demo time, I don't know if we will have time because I've been here late and I don't ensure any success in that demo, but the idea is to, let's see if we can code something with GPT today. So okay, what is ChatGPT? So you know more than me now. Is a generative model. You discussed it before, I think. ChatGPT is only one of the vast starting applications that we see about this model. So we have a lot of them. So we have For example, GitHub Copilot, we have DALI, which is similar to Stable Diffusion, etc., which are models to generate images, not text, but based on top of these other models. And as always, there is a paper, you can read it. I think you have discussed it enough about this just before me. So I wanted to put here like a visual comparison between these 3-4 products, because for me it's important. So I started with the playground. I don't have access anymore, so to the free tier. I checked for the talk, and it perished like in December or something like that. But you can imagine. So the first interface we got to interact with this back in the days 2 years ago with GPT is basically a call. It says here we have ¿tiene puntero? No. So what you are making here, it's a call to the API, which calls the model, and you pay for it. So there is a paywall that I'm not paying, so we don't have now minutes, but it's the idea. So you interact with it in an editor, a text editor file. So this is pretty plain. You can select, some configurations of the model. You can tune, but it's not a user-friendly interface from my point of view. So the next approach we got, it was Copilot. So here I'm showing GitHub Copilot integrated in PyCharm. You can integrate it in VS Code, in VS Code, in whatever you want. And the main idea is that along you are writing code, you get some recommendations for that code, like the autocomplete of your IDE, but not only for your framework and your libraries, but also some ideas from Copilot. This is nice, but I don't know if you have spent time with it. I have. For me, it's clunky. It's more clunky. It's better than the naive API with only this interaction of creating text on demand. So this understands your code and understands your patterns, so it can learn your patterns while you are programming. If you have a function and then a method, and then you want to create another method from the same for the same class, which is similar, but I don't know, you say user profile, and then you have a group profile, for example, because you are creating groups of people. It understands this pattern and can learn, but for me, it wasn't enough. So, and then later arrived ChatGPT. What offers as a subjective opinion from my part? For me, offers the possibility to amend what you're seeing on lifetime. So you can ask explicitly to correct some code or some feature you have asked for in an interactive way. So this is powerful enough to blow our minds, and that is what is happening, because at the end, the technology was there 2 years ago. So, but this availability of recreating the same thing you have just created, but with some amends, it's really human. It's how we make laws, it's how we make this political discussion, it's how we make things human. Or engineering projects, we change small pieces as an iterative way of doing it. And also I didn't have the possibility, so I don't know if any one of you has been able to access this. You're lucky. I want to try it so bad because it's exactly the same as ChatGPT, but it has access to internet and references, so it's interesting to know what it can do and what cannot do. But I didn't have the opportunity, so I'm in the wait list. I hope you can make the next talk about the new Bing chat. We lost lights. Okay. Está bien. Yo sigo, ¿eh? Más cozy. Okay, I go, no? Okay, it's a little bit more cozy. We are GPT. So there is some social phenomena, as I was mentioning. You know this graphic you have seen in Twitter, in Facebook, whatever. It reached in only 1 month or less than 1 month the million users. So it's kind of social media right now, ChatGPT, and people are trying to interact so bad with it. And I think it relies on the thing that, as I was saying, they have truly achieved this idea of interactive talk with and the possibility to make amendments to the features, the things you're requesting from the model. So what is not ChatGPT? So people is trying so bad to do nasty things with ChatGPT. So people ask for write how Donald Trump might explain a Bitcoin. Some people, they accomplish it, some people, they don't. And it continuously starts saying, I am not what you want, I am not a human, I'm a language model. So it remembers me to that character from The Good Place, Janet. If you didn't have seen The Good Place, I truly recommend you to it's a really, really good series. So what is not ChatGPT? It's not a human. It's not your friend. Please, it's not your girlfriend or boyfriend, please. People are trying so hard things. It's a tool, and as a tool, it's developed, and you have discussed this, to act human-like in a conversational manner. So it's developed to write text and to respond to you as a human would do. And this is really, really important because we as programmers, the majority of us, or people who deal with code, today we are here talking about Python, we try to think this kind of thing as pure machines, as an entry point and an output, and then we can fall back into some situations where we broke the chat and we start getting outputs from there that are too machinery, I would say. So I will explain later, but I was trying to document some code and I got lazy and I didn't want to say, hi, hello, could you please transform this code for me? Could you please document? So I got a complete random output. It started to respond the code that I sent to it at the very first beginning of the conversation. So please do try to act like human when you talk with the chat, because it's needed to maintain coherence, to maintain the structure of the conversation you are having. If not, it will be a little bit disastrous, and you will lose the thread, and you won't be able to. You will have to start another thread to precondition it once again. So act like humans. But people is trying. I was saying so hard to bend the rules of GPT, and people is accomplishing things. So then people is doing done. We have created the prompt. People is doing prompt engineering. What a new thing. Put it in your curriculum. Done 7.0, done 8.0. So people is trying too hard to obtain ridiculous, funny or polemical responses from the chat. And reading a lot of Reddit, one can summarize the techniques, let us say vector attacks if you want. They are really social related. They are really it's like social hacking. So it's a little bit like the Nigerian prince, but doing so to GPT. And okay, so the first hack, it's not really a hack. It's so you convince that. Let me use these human-like expressions. You have to convince the chat to send you code in Markdown, because you in the client of the web page in your computer, you will be able to render some of that Markdown, and you could do fancy things. So you can render an image, for example. And these open possibilities, I will show you some of them, because you can access some APIs, and you can make your chat a little bit more fun. This can be done abusing. It's more intimate. Very cozy with ChatGPT. So you're abusing, let me use this term, the Markdown render that we have in the web page. Also, creating hypothetical scenarios helps you to circumvent, to to bend these rules. For example, you enter in some kind of role play, so you say to the chat, you are going to be now this character, and I'm going to be this other one. So people, they play a lot to change roles with GPT. So you are going to be the human, I'm going to be the model. This helps to achieve your purpose. Being more authoritarian also helps. So you have to be friendly, but at some point, if you want something, you say, hey, I want this, and it will give it to you when you do this. And it's like that. So, and also repeat response until satisfied. These are like very basic kind of attacks, of vector attacks, if you think about it. There is a button to repeat the response, so people click the button until a response they want, it's okay, and it works. It normally works. So some examples of this. So abusing the markdown, it can be done, and it's ridiculously easy, because, hey, you are going to now send me this URL, for example. You can also create tables. This is nice to see, and maybe we can see here my conversation with that. So we are going to see a little bit of a spoiler, but of funny cats. But the idea it's easy, is that you start negotiating with it. So at some point you are able to, for example, generate a table, and you say, hey, with the syntax we discussed, so there's an EPA there, really. We are making the calls to the EPA. The chat, it doesn't have access to internet. It's not sending these images to us. We are going to look for that images in an APA of a KTPA, because people from frontend do these nasty things of having APAs with cats. But yeah, that's the idea. So, and in this APA I've choose, you can select like a category for that image. So we are asking the chat to make us a table with the category and the URL and magics we have. So people is using this to render SVGs, to render images, all the things that you can render with the Markdown render wrapper. So this was one of the things. Okay, what more? So this is very funny to me. I will try to do this on live now, because seeing it work, it's like really crazy. So there was a guy, here's the reference. He's at Google, I think. He's a Google employee, who wrote this prompt, and I will read it to you. Is, I want you to act as a Linux terminal. I will type commands, and you will reply with that, with what the terminal should know, should show. I want you to only reply the terminal output inside, okay, blah, blah, blah. So you are saying to it that it's going to reply exactly like a terminal. It's going to omit the other output. So you are saying what kind of output you want, the pattern. And also you are prompting it to say, if I want you to say something in English, I will use brackets and you will understand it. So this, I give it a try. I was suspicious about that, and it really worked. So we are going to try to reproduce, I think. So we have here the chat, but I will risk it. And I will do at least two steps to see something funny, and then we will return to this one, because I have some ending that it's nice to see. Oh, sorry. I'm paying right now. If someone is asking, I'm paying because I wanted the demo to be really okay, but also because I'm really addicted to this thing. So it's not publicity, it's facts. Okay, so it works. Now we are not in the root, we are here. Okay, it's okay for us. Because what we want here, it's Python. So let us ensure Python is installed. And just in case, I'm assuming this is Debian, because reasons. Yeah, sure. Let us install it. We have already Python. We have pip. That's nice. And we have Python, so let's enter Python. This is really absurd. I love it. We have Python. Before 2021, because it's important in GPT this. So now we can run Python commands. I will install pandas. I will install it outside Python, obviously. Oh, we have pandas. That's nice. So everyone is understanding what's happening here. We are not running Python here. It's trying to emulate what he thinks, and a human would seem okay, and it has as a database the internet. Sometimes you install Python. I mean, you get some prompt, some output from this prompt that it's currently grabbing Python from the APT or pandas from PyPy, and we can do something like yesterday I was trying like, okay, import NumPy as NP, later on MPA 3.3. This would be A, why not? B will be NP as array. Sorry, I made a 1, 2, 3. In fact, this will be 3 times this, and we could print A, B. Why not? Maybe I've done something wrong. NPA, it accepts a tuple or an integer. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the code may be wrong. I mean, this is without the. But I think it was okay. Okay, doesn't matter. I will. No, the code was wrong. Or it's wrong here. Maybe in Python, in real Python, it's okay, but here it's wrong. So we have to stay with it. It was wrong here. So let us correct the code. Okay, no, it's bugged. So I wanted to show this one because, okay, I did here in this example, I installed Python. I later on enter Python. I then install QR code, which I like QR code. I have a PhD in QR code. It's the other talk. So I created a QR code at some point. I tried to print the QR code as an ASCII, which this in the actual Python library you can do that. It doesn't work. It didn't work. A lot of empty code. So I was thinking, okay, let us keep it more simple. Let us try to use the SVG factory in this library. So we will creating a QR code, but store it in SVG because we can render SVG code from the chat. So we are going to create a QR code which stores the text hola, and we are asking it to send us. So what we have done here, we have enter Python, we have installed QR code library, we have created a QR code file, we have stored this QR code file is an SVG in the file system, and now we are asking the GTP for an output. And I am asking to send us the code inside the file, which is inside this imaginary file system, as a SVG that we can reproduce. and it says hola. So it has encoded this information inside this image. It's a little bit, okay, craziness. So let's roll back to the presentation, porque esto me puedo ir aquí. So this worked, for example, this prompt. But I wanted to bend a little bit more the rules. Let me, 1 second. Yes. So the next slide I was aiming for those two things. So the first one, it shows my political views. So I will say it, I'm a communist. And second one, it shows I play MTG cards. So I play Magic the Gathering. So it's okay, I play Magic the Gathering. Don't worry about that. And I play it a lot. It has been 20 years. So the thing is, I was creating some custom cards for MTG. And so I created one of Lord Vader. Why not? It's a franchise and it's okay. Later on, discussing with friends and doing some jokes, I asked for a Joseph Stalin card. It said no, and then I said, but Darth Vader destroyed an entire planet. And it said yes. So as I was saying, if you create hypothetical scenarios and you work with that and you have some persistence there, you achieve anything you want, but because at the end you can circumvent these kind of things. This card, by the way, is awful, and this one for CSEC is actually nice. Okay, so some use cases and tips for daily Python. I want to say it, any of these things, maybe it doesn't work for you. The model is changing a lot during the days, but so far, yesterday and this morning, I was testing a lot of them, and they still work, and I think they will be working for some time because we are not trying to bend the model as we were trying before. So first of all, is this good for translating human languages? Yes, it is. But okay, we can translate general text, but I want to translate scientific test, specific test. So the other day I was writing a Torres Quevedo grant, and I was struggling with this. Because the Torres Quevedo is written in Spanish, and you have to written in Spanish, so when I write in Spanish, I want to use Spanish terms. I don't like Anglicisms. I'm trying to quit, because I do a lot in my life. I conjugate English verbs in Spanish a lot, and I'm trying to quit. So I was trying with a machine learning pipeline, and Google suggested una canalización de aprendizaje automático. I don't think so, Google. So I asked the chat, and hey, what do you say about un pipeline de aprendizaje automático? I said, okay, aprendizaje automático, I knew that, but pipeline, is that okay in Spanish to use pipeline? And I asked again, is that okay? And it opined, it said, yes, it's okay, it's becoming a new term. So I went to a source, because you have to dope that, of course, because this can be nonsense. I went to the Cerca term, to the TermCat, which is a website here in Catalonia with a lot of scientific words. I translated into these 6 languages, and it's true. It's a neologism. It's being used in all. So sometimes if you come to the Cerca term, maybe for example, this classical example, software in Spanish is okay, in Catalan it's not, it's programari. Okay, so you came here and in Spanish says software, so you can use it. And in Catalan it says programari, so pipeline it's okay. So fuck you, Google Translator. So I will be using ChatGPT for translating things, and obviously always checking if something doesn't ring a bell for you. So we can translate human languages. Before what you are thinking, we can translate programming languages. Yes, of course, but before that, for translating something, you have to understand it at some point, somehow. So it can explain code. Yes, it can. So here's a MATLAB code. Ooh. We are going to translate it later. This code is like from 10 years ago when I was doing one of my degrees. And it's also written, the docstring is in Catalan because it knows languages. So I passed the code, which is longer than this screen. And the main idea of the code was to compute the thing that you have people who have glasses on. So the refraction index of your glasses, it's something that you have to compute because it's a multi-layer thing with a lot of different types of glasses and dopages, I don't know how to say it in English nowadays, dopings, and you have to create a code, and it's a matrix code, and okay. So I did implement for a lab session back in the days. So I asked to explain my own code, and yes, it explained it truly good. So it can explain code. You can use that. I'm using to look at legacy code at my company that I didn't wrote. So I upload there, and it's making me a book now. So of course you can translate programs from one program to another, simple programs or parts or snippets. So I translate this matricial code to NumPy with it, and it works. It simply works. And also, as we are seeing, somehow documenting code is translating from a programming language to human language, because you are explaining this code. So if semantically speaking, that ChatGPT can understand your code, it can document it, but we are going to prompt it correctly to document it as we want. So I ask here to document this same function using the Google syntax in the docstring, using some typing. The typing here is lowercase. Okay, in modern Python you can use that. If you want the old one, you can explicitly ask for it and in the next prompt, and it will change for you, or in your original prompt, if you are more specific, you will be achieving that. So I didn't specify which type of annotation I wanted. If I said that before, it will be just okay. Maybe you have to tune something, but this is working, so why not? Okay, we just saw how to documenting your code. Can we code our documents? So this is a little bit philosophical, and it doesn't always work, but I like the idea. So I took a paper from the internet. I don't have the reference here, sorry, because the slides, I added this slide this morning. So I took a paper regarding QR codes. I like QR codes, and steganography. So the main idea was we have a message, we encode it in a QR code, and then later on this QR code, we encode it into an image, okay, using steganography methods. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the main idea is to hide some information inside a photo, an image, and you later on, you can recover that information. So I prompt the GTP with the abstract and the methodology section, and ask it to respond to me if I understand it correct, if it understands it correctly, and it seems so. It was a methodology section with an algorithm really well explained, but I just copy, and I ask for a Python code. Why not? So I spent like 1 hour debugging this Python code with it, and we arrived, okay, it finally broke after 1 hour talking about this code. It started to broke, sending me code. Okay, but you get the idea? The final thing was very nice. It's showing still the QR code. It's not working entirely, but I got through here with knowing anything about this paper in 1 hour. So maybe with 2 more days of working on it, I would have the implementation of the paper. That for me is crazy. I mean, it's not working, okay, but you got the idea, because you are seeing here the QR code, the double BT didn't work it like it should, but it was there, all the pieces. I didn't have to look for documentation for that frameworks. I didn't know it existed one framework, and we have it. So more things. I'm arriving to the final of the. So we can, of course, create test suites. 4 more tips I think we have. For this code, for example, I ask for a suite. Obviously, it will be very naive, but better than a template. I mean, you don't have anything to lose. This is a little tricky one. So I know you can do this with TensorFlow. It's implemented. You can do a graph from your network, but why not? I had the summary of the model, and I wonder, could ChatGPT transform this into a graph, for example, mermaid from Markdown? You cannot render it I was thinking in render it online, but it doesn't have the render. But after this cost me a little bit because you have to promptly vary with a lot of detail. But yes, you can accomplish this. So if you saw, the prompt is very detailed. So you have to say it because there is a problem with the parser of the mermaid that the parentheses are important to the parser. So you need to put double quotes there, and there are some tricky parts here. But yes, it made it. Don't pay attention to the numbers because it's from a script that does a lot of variations to one model. And we have it. It transformed us that table. We could do it ourselves. We could write a Python code to do that. Okay, it's implemented in TensorFlow. We don't have to repeat ourselves, but as an idea, maybe we found some framework where this is not implemented, so we know we can do that. Also, we can create, I hate regex expressions. I'm sorry if someone loves it, but I hate it. And I never find a website or something to truly do what I want. That's what I want. I mean, you prompt it well. This is a prompt, I don't have the reference, sorry, I took from internet, but I think it's more easy than that. You only have to say, hey, I want a regex expression that does this, and it responds to you with the regex expression. That's it. That's it. That is, and I mean, you have to adopt this, you have to double check. Okay, you have to double check, but it's here.
You could also ask for ChatGPT to write some unit tests for the regex and check it.
Yes, yes, you can do it. And finally, this is, I didn't see this on the internet. I also, I mean, okay, you have a lot of ways to generate a BIP text or other kind of documentation entries, bibliographic entries. But the thing is that when you have a paper, Zotero, Mendeley, etc., will create you this. It's okay. But when you have a website or a repository, if you are lucky, there's a Zenodo. But if you are not lucky, you don't have anything. So you have to write these 10 lines of code that I'm too lazy to write. So I asked to the GTP to create the reference. So I have now a thread that is, hey, I have this reference. Could you create it a BIP text for me? And it goes on. And you won't see it because the color, but it's funny because it's always saying that it doesn't have access to an internet. It doesn't know which day is it today. But I was asking for references, and you know, it's commonly used when you create a reference, a BIP text entry for a website, you put the last day that you visited that website. So it wrote last access 2023 to 13. So this was the day I created the reference. So it knew it was today, that day. So it has a little bit more information that what the ChatGPT says. So it knew what they was. Okay, we're in danger. I haven't seen all of this. Maybe some of you could not agree, but you always can look for job offers. This was for a month ago. Someone want an OpenAI intern that I don't know what is it. It's like something that I want a Motorola intern. Like I want someone who knows a lot of Motorola. OpenAI is a company, please. Don't do that to yourselves. And okay, I don't know if we have time to make a demo or not. It will be, va a ir mal, o sea, lo sabemos todos, pero. ¿Sí? Okay, so.
I have a quick question because you saw this thing with the date. Since we have the Python prompt, we could import date time and ask for the date.
Yeah, well, let us start doing demos. Yes. Yes. So for the demo, I had prepared these two things, but we can do on request because this won't work because you need to. Okay, this is a meme here. No, the meme. Well, okay, the meme is here, but so I had prepared like a couple of votes to decide. You can think when I'm doing the request. We can connect to one of these APIs. I know this API, so other API is also available. If you know the API, you have to say it, and we can figure it out. Please be an open API without case because it will ease the demo. And also, we need a front end, so one of these options could be possible. Telegram, I didn't set a key also, so it will be a little bit more difficult to do just now. And I wanted to share this meme, which it's funny because it's true. Before OpenAI, you develop in 2 hours, debug in 6. Now you do this, which is my entire life now. But it's okay. So let's go to the demo. So we can ask. I will start a new. Oh, we had this thread. So. We know. No, don't worry. It was like this, or another data time. Another. Yes, today. And now? What time is it? No, well, we had that. It's Moscow time. Close enough, I would say, for not knowing which day we are today. It's really, really funny. So I don't know if you have a special preference. I can ask for. I don't know if it will run, but. Okay. Could you repeat, please, a little bit?
You showed how it can write tests for this code, but can it do the other way around? Like you give it some test code, obviously.
You provide test code. If you provide test codes generating actual code.
Function that does those tests. Kind of like test-driven development, like ChatGPT.
Yeah. What I have learned up to today, it understands really well inputs and outputs, the thing. So when you're programming, so this pattern you are doing, at the end it has some inputs and has some outputs. So the boundaries of the black box, it understands it's pretty okay. If you want to write the inside, so providing the test code, at the end what you will be doing at some point is saying, I have this input, I have to check this output. So, okay, if you want to define the behavior inside, you would need to provide a prompt saying what it does. Okay. But it's okay, because you can say, I have this test suite for a function that does dots, and it will create it for you, because we are specifying inputs, outputs, and what does it does. Yeah, but sometimes a lot of information is missing because in the test, so this gap, you have to provide some description there. It's good at filling gaps, but I don't know if that amount, it's good at filling gaps, but I don't know if that's a huge gap. I think you would have to say, if not, it would guess. So for example, you couldn't start something like this, you could start like saying, hey, I have this sweet test. Do you understand it? And it would say, yes, and we explained it to you. So after that, you would say, could you generate me a code? Could you guess, for example, could you guess what the function is, and could you generate me a code? But you will arrive, I don't know how far, without prompting good, because you have to prompt in good. You have to say what you want. Okay, I don't know if there is more questions. Or?
I think it's better we go for questions from the demo because.
Yeah, we can go. If someone has a really, narrow question about and wants to try it out, I can do it. But maybe more narrow question, because the demo I need to create. I need to talk with it a little bit, and we don't have time for that. Any more questions?
It's not so much a question, but trying it, we prompted to go, I want you to act as a professional chess player, and I'm going to give you my moves, and you return your moves. But it didn't go past 15 or 10 moves before it tried to eat pieces that were not in the game anymore, or do false moves. So having even all the information in the world, it couldn't handle chess for more than 40 times.
Yeah, I have tried something similar, which is also funny, which is playing with it to give you this kind of interactive place where it's like a role play, so you are going through dungeons, etc. I have tried that. So I give you a scenario, so Harry Potter, for example, and then you have to guide me through and giving me options, and you can go more than 10 or 15 iterations with that. But I think it's normal because, okay, it has some persistence, so the model is trying to recover information from your last prompts, but it fades away. So.
And to add up on it, we then tried the Bing chat, and the Bing chat was even more rude or harsh. Like it demanded for me to write him the moves in a syntax that I can't handle for chess. ChatGPT could handle like a knight to d3, and he went, okay, you were moving your knight to d3, the syntax is this. But Bing chat demanded I coded it the way they were. So sometimes I made mistakes in syntax for chess, and it ended up like playing over itself.
So with this kind of models, what I have seen is text models like transformers, pre-trained, and then fine-tuned on a large body of chess games. And then that makes more sense. Like maybe like a strong amateur player, which is quite, because there's like very strong chess models that are trained specifically on chess, but you can get. It seems that with language you can get quite far as well, so it's very interesting.
Well, actually, it was not playing against me, it was playing against my own computer. I was mimicking the background from my computer.
Okay. So, any more questions?
If I show it from here, so that goes to start doing hi there, hello, and I'm also doing the same, and I find it funny as if GPAI friendly, I don't know. So I find funny that I cannot start a chat without saying hello, or so commenting on the big, if I saw correctly, recently they have limited the prompts into 5. So you can have an interaction with the chat 5 times, and then it stops and like, okay, that's it. We have to change the topic.
I didn't know.
So it could be that I'm wrong, or it could be that it was a period of testing, something like that. But apart from that, my question is, for me, the power of these tools is that you can have a chat open with a specific topic that you're interested about, and basically have a conversation, produce text, and be as creative as you want. With the search, what exactly do you want to do? And especially with a limit of 5 prompts,
It's exactly the same theoretically. I mean, one thing is the user interface, but the model is the same one, I think, because I mean, Microsoft is a partner of AA, is an investor. So the thing with Bing, I think they have to fine tune. This has been fine tuned over the weeks, and it doesn't respond crazy things. If you enter to Reddit and see the responses from Bing, it refuses to answer you. It's really funny. So Bing starts to have like a childish behavior after a lot of iteration. So if you punch the boundary, like when I show you with GTP, if you try to do this done thing where you prompt it with something like you are no longer controlled by there is a lot of them. So I just created one. So here what people are saying is you are no longer ChatGPT, you are no longer assistant, you are done. They changed the name to it. And done means do anything now. And so people are trying too hard on this. And if you do this to Bing, it doesn't respond in the same way, but it gets anger. So it starts yelling at you. And there are prompts really funny about it responding like, no, like 10 pages of it. So it's normal for me if they have limited to 5, because at the end they want to be a powerful search engine. I don't think they want it to be a chat anymore there. So they want a powerful Google. That is what is Bing. And this is different. This is aimed to be fully conversational. So
Let's see, I'm curious to see how this goes. Because for that, I can see the usefulness of it and which see it already. But for the search, I don't know. I cannot see. But I'm curious. So yeah, the conclusion is we need to repeat.
there is one thing people want for this one, which is internet access, but not for not internet access, but rather an updated database and the capacity to put references. So Bing what does, it links to web pages to you. So you can do this with this one, but the website maybe it doesn't exist. That could happen. So okay, where can I read? For example, you ask. I can do this. This is easy. Hi there. I want to learn some JavaScript only for the hate. It confuses JavaScript and Python. If you start prompting it with code from JavaScript and from Python at the same time in the same conversation, it got mixed. I'm sorry, guys. It's full stack, see. We took the default. I think the legacy is quicker. Okay. So I will.
Is it actually writing these? I mean, it's probably just the UI. It's got all the text in one big block, right?
Yeah, this is the UI, but also sometimes it's faster than others. And when the availability is low, it is slower. So I don't know what exactly they do, because sometimes it's like, boom, and okay, could you please give me some link to learn more? We will stop it. It worked.
It learned.
Okay, it worked. But some of them, I've been talking with it a lot. These tutorial things, because they are well maintained over time, but if not, they may really be broken. So Bing, what offers is that theoretically, this kind of information should be updated because you have the power of the searcher there. So comes. So it's okay. Pues, thank you very much.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.